Welcome back to another episode of Fail or Fire, the series where we show all you people out there what we think is a fail fire or just plain mid. I am your head-banging Rippaverse loving host, Thundarius, and I am joined by my absolutely epic and out-of-this-world co-hosts.
I know the Rippaverse, and I with that. Not sure about Mr. Bass yet, but I'm gonna check him out. Shades.
And I've seen all of Thundy's comic books. I'm Dylan.
And we are Cyber Skull Media. Yes. Okay. I'm a bit of a stand for these boys right here. So first off, we are covering Norfrica's Glorious Death, which is sang by none other than Eric July and Dan Vasc. Now, Eric July, his band Backwards, we have covered on this channel once. They're a fun, newer metal style band that has been around for a minute, but used to be with Fire of the Gods. And now he's got a brand new track with this over million plus sub YouTube musician from Brazil. Shout out to our boy Ed in the Cyber Skull Mafia, Mr. Dan Vasc, the Brazilian wonder with the pipes of gold over here. These two have wanted to collaborate on something for a very, very long time, and people have wanted them to collaborate for a very long time. I have been dying to share Dan Vasc with the boys in our community because his voice is insane, dude. And, everybody here is no stranger to Backwards and Eric July. He also does some rap too, but Shades has heard a lot of the Backwards stuff riding in the truck with big fans over here, huge fans over here. All right. Unlike other reaction channels out there that might cover this song, our video is not going to be a very short video today. Where other channels do the bare minimum, we do the exact opposite. I'm going to tell you a little bit of the backstory about this song, a little about the people performing it, which I've done a little bit of that already, and about the comic that the characters from this are based on. I'm going to read the lyrics, and we're also going to watch both the live action music video and the animated music video, and we're gonna break it all down in chapters with timestamps for your viewing pleasure. So that's right, there is not only a live action, but an animated music video, because this is based off of a team of Accepts or superheroes in the Rippaverse comic book. So these boys aren't portraying themselves here today. These boys are taking on, and my camera messed up.
Uh-oh, lost you. That's too bad. Shades, we had to cover this one. He's out on his favorite song. We're gonna have to take the helm.
One eternity later.
Now that we're back, this is based off of a comic book characters. They are based on Valadan and Takari from the band and group Norfrica. I don't want to tell you any more than that because I want to get your initial thoughts on the sound. I have heard a snippet of the beginning when the teaser dropped, and I have not heard anything else. I have listened to them discuss it, so I have some fun facts about this that we can talk about later, so people don't get bored by me rambling for 5 minutes before we start this.
Get on with it! Yes! Get on with it!
Let's go ahead and get into this today. This is gonna be one hell of a banger, I feel, but in order to do something proper, Dan's been on a show with a guy named Beardo and a guy named XK. They do these same smelling salts, so I'm gonna do these for Beardo today. Y'all don't have to join me, that's fine. I've got this.
Spoiler alert, they don't work anymore.
Yeah, mine expired.
Listen, I was gonna try them first and hope that they worked before you said anything.
You can try mine.
Oh man, yeah. Whew, I had to really shove my nose in there.
That's what she said.
I got a little whiff though. I gotta get some new ones. All right, I gotta get some new ones. Well, I got a little whiff, so we can get excited. I'm hoping that today is headbanger certified. I forgot to say that in the last video.
But before anything starts, I'm gonna correct myself because I said Dan's name wrong. It's Vasc.
Dan Vasc.
Yeah, I said Bass, and you never even corrected me, sir.
I thought you said Vasc, and it was just the microphone.
Oh, they were totally gonna get me, so I thought I'd correct myself.
Dan Vasc deference.
I got you a delicious bass. All right, well, this is Dan Vasc, Eric July, portraying Norfrica for the band Norfrica, Glorious Death. Let's do this.
of the tide, I can see an innate desire. Sword in hand, warriors side by side. I can feel it, it burns like fire. Worlds collide, an unstable landscape, side by side. But that's what this mandates. Be it might and unlikely allegiance, we will fight because that's the best defense. No turning back, for such is our path. This day we find a glorious death.
All right, boys. All right, boys. What are we thinking? Let me know.
Okay, instantly I got like Saturday morning cartoon vibe. With obviously there's animation, so that helps sell it, but that instrumental at the beginning, I was like, oh fuck, this is like the dopest theme song. Takes me back. I used to love the theme song to X-Men in the 90s. You know, I'm getting a lot of feels, so it's pretty dope.
I would say so far it's pretty dope. Not at all what I expected it to be.
And I'm super stoked that, you know, Eric's doing something this different from like his other work, right? Like, you know, this isn't backwards at all with just a different title. You know, they're fully immersed in these characters and the musical style that they're trying to nail for a comic book song. So it's pretty fucking cool.
Right. This is very forward moving.
Say that with some veracity.
Look, he's just out here trying to be great. All right.
That's right.
Well, this is something they talked about, is how this has come a completely different style from Backwards. And Dan Vasc, to quote Dan Vasc, he said, Backwards is like the Hulk, and our song is like Thor. They're both brutal, but in completely different vibes.
That's right.
And that makes sense, seeing this is a Viking and African style inspiration for this song. Getting some Ailstorm vibes, getting some I'm on a Marth.
Oh, yes, yes.
A little bit instrumentally. There's definitely a lot of influence from bands that we're all fans of, things that we grew up listening to. Dan is a classic metal vocalist, as you've already gotten a taste of. Eric is like very newer style metal, whereas Dan is the classic metal. He'll rock Iron Maiden, he'll rock Dio, he'll rock all sorts of stuff, and that's kind of his realm of vocals. Whereas Eric is typically more the guttural stuff.
Yeah, more screams and like hip hop vocal. You know, that's his thing. Very new metal band. They're like metalcore and new metal, like a really sweet hybrid. You know, what Eric's doing vocally here is different than what he typically does.
Because he was originally going to do straight guttural stuff on the verse. He rethought it, pulled it back to something more melodic, and started out clean. So where we go from here, I guess we're going to have to find out. Because once he heard Dan's vocals, he's like, bro, I got to show out on this song. So let's let our boy Eric show the absolute fuck out on this song. Let's see where this goes. I'm so excited to share these with you boys today.
Mission is clear.
Guys, we forgot to do something very important.
You didn't read the lyrics.
We didn't read the lyrics, so we're going to have to start all this over. I'm sure people are going to be super devastated if we have to start some of this over.
They're crushed.
But there's something we do on this channel, and that's read the lyrics in case there's anything we want to break down. And I took the lyrics directly from the song, so I very much appreciate Dan for putting them in there. I fucked up, boys. I just got so carried away with this. I fucked up and forgot to read the lyrics. So is that something I should do now, or should I go sit in the corner?
Probably both, but still.
If you just go sit in the corner, we'll never get this finished.
Oh, you're right. And we got a long way to go. So we start out with Dan as the character Valadan. Here we stand at the turn of the tide. I can see an innate desire. Sword in hand, warriors side by side. I can feel, and it burns like fire. Bro, this song makes me want to go tear fucking door from the frame.
Don't tear up your house.
It makes me want to get back in the gym again, boys.
That I can support.
Now we got Rippa, Mr. Young Rippa, coming in here with Takari. Worlds collide in unstable landscape. Side by side, but that's what this mandates. Be it might in unlikely allegiance, we will fight, because that's the best defense. Guys, I want to go fuck something up right now.
After we're done.
Because there's no turning back, for such is our path. This day we find a glorious death. Fucking A, man. This is metal as fuck, Bo.
We're going to Valhalla.
Hell yeah, we are.
Let's go.
Turning back for such is our path. This day we find a glorious death. Glorious death. Our goal, our mission is clear. As we ride against the dark empire. By my soul, may the last thing they hear be the roar of this raging choir. Listen, be the sound.
Hold on. Did you just hear him hit that note?
I did. I went like this with my face.
Dude, he can hit all the notes, bro. This is just, he's teasing you right now. I guess that means we got to go back and hear what he had to say again. We got to hear him hit that note.
Our goal, our mission is clear. As we ride against the dark empire. By my soul, may the last thing they hear be the roar of this raging choir. Listen, be the savagery mindset. Not today, we'll let loose and find it. Brutal will define our reaction. Rip out the throat of each one in their fashion. No turning back for such is our path. This day we find a glorious death. Fear not, my friend, for righteous the path. They shall remember glorious death.
Sounds like they're about to crank this shit up, but what do we think about the next part of the song?
I like it. They're flexing both of them, you know, a lot more vocally. They kind of eased us into this thing, and they're really hitting their stride here in the middle section.
Our goal, our mission is clear. As we ride against the dark empire, by my soul, may the last thing they hear be the roar of this raging choir. And he nailed that note, bro. Nailed that note. I was gonna show you his cover of Be a Man from Mulan, actually, to start us out as an introduction, because he does some crazy things in that, and that version of his song is awesome. He blew up he's got several videos that are huge. He did a Toss a Coin to Your Witcher cover that's phenomenal. He's done Iron Maiden. He's done a whole bunch of stuff. He's got some Manowar stuff coming. I know Dylan is weirdly somehow not familiar with Manowar, so we're gonna have to fix that.
I've heard of them. My son's told me about them, but I have not really ever jumped into that.
It's that Bay the Savagery mindset. Not today, we'll lose and find it. Brutal will define our reactions. Rip out the throat of each one in their faction. Well, brutal will definitely define our reaction today. And they added an extra little few 4 lines to the chorus. So why don't we bang that out real quick too before we get back into it? Fear not, my friend, for bright is the path. They shall remember glorious death. Guys, I just want to go watch a bunch of manly as fuck movies right now and maybe play some God of War.
Righteous the path. They shall remember glorious death. Glorious. The angels have fallen. My allies are beaten and broken down. Broken down. I shed not a tear. After all, this is why we are here. A war we were not supposed to win. If I'm to die tonight, I'll kill every demon that stands in my side. Go!
Oh, did I just do the thing, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Blue Balls with Thundy, the part of the show where Thundy gives you blue balls.
You're abusing this privilege, sir.
I am. I really am. I really am, because you just got a taste of what's about to happen, and I'm not going to let you have it yet.
How do you know if you haven't heard this?
Did you just not hear what was about to go down?
I don't know.
It just cuts to black and the song ends. That's it. It's over. Well, I want to go back because that was crazy, bro. The change up in Dan's voice, the change up in Eric's voice, bro.
He's showing off a little bit. The last backwards song that we covered, we got to hear him doing a little bit more singing. I was like, okay, he's doing something different. And then he's like just taking it a whole new level here.
Glorious, the angels have fallen, my allies are beaten and broken down. I shed not a tear after all. This is why we are here. And that note that Eric July hit, if that's the spot, there's a spot he was talking about that there's a note that he hit he has never hit before without assistance that he hit in this song. And wasn't sure if he was going to go for it or not. And their boy Corey in the audio booth was like, this is how you do it. And he was like, all right, let's fucking do this. And he did it. He did the damn thing. So I'm here for it. A war we were not supposed to win. Haha, if I'm to die tonight, I'll kill every demon that stands in my sight. Go. Guys, we gotta go kill some demons, bro. Shout out Demon Hunter. You guys are quiet. It's like you want me to play the song or something.
Anticipation is very unpleasant right now.
The Antissa.
If I'm to die tonight, I'll kill every demon that stands in my sight. Go! You must send me a fool. I'll stand on the skeletons of every goal. But if I'm to die, well, this very night, we'll kill every demon that stands in our soul. Turning back, such is our path. This day we find the glorious death. Fear not, my friend, for righteous the path. They shall remember glorious death. Make them remember glorious death. Glorious
That's who the fuck Dan Vasc is, Dylan.
I see that. He's got a tank top. It makes him sing better.
Bro, how about those Dan Vasc vocals?
That's pretty fucking technically sound. He should audition for Steel Dragon.
Well, dude, those notes that he hits, man. Those notes that he hits, though, man. Like Dio type shit. And then Eric coming in, dropping them hard gutturals at the end, bro. That had to make you happy.
I'm trying to think, like modern day, there's not a lot of people that still can pull off those vocal techniques. And it's kind of not really a lost art, but almost. I mean, there are very few people that can do that.
Let's finish out these lyrics, and then maybe we'll show you guys, like it says, also check the animated video. You must think me a fool. I'll stand on the skeletons of every ghoul. But if I'm to die on this very night, I'll kill every demon that stands in our sight. Make them remember glorious death. This is the fucking hype song. This is it. This is the hype song. And it might have to become something that we use more on this channel because they let people use their music because they're not dicks like UMG. Guys, I don't think I've ever been happier covering a song than this song right now. It makes me very, very, very happy. So let me go ahead and pull up the animation and we'll go through the animation real quick. And then we'll let you guys know what we think a little bit. Were you expecting a Viking African cross generational metal song today, Dylan?
No. So when I think of Brazilian and metal, I instantly go to like Soulfly and Sepultura. So what we got was completely not what I was expecting.
For those who like more information and deep dives on stuff, I've got more information for you guys. So we will finish this out. We will give you guys our fail or fire review. And then for those who want a little bit more info on these guys, this video and things like that, I'll give you some of that at the end. And I'll put it at the end for those who are just ready to get out of here and don't care about that stuff. But you know, if you're a frequent viewer of our channel, that we are absolutely whores for lore. So we like to bring you guys the lore. So let's go ahead and check out the animation, because like I stated, this is based off a comic book. These boys are portraying comic book characters that have superpowers that are in a band. And as far as who they are and where their powers come from and what they are, I guess you guys are just gonna have to wait.
At the turn of the tide, I can see an innate desire. Sword in hand, warriors side by side. I can feel it, it burns like fire. Worlds collide, an unstable landscape, side by side. But that's what this mandates. Be it might and unlikely allegiance. We will fight because that's the best defense. No turning back for such is our path. This day we find a glorious death. Glorious death.
So we got a pretty crazy animation going on over here. We haven't covered very many animated things on this channel. We've done a little bit.
Some gunship.
No, not too many bands do. The animated stuff costs a lot of money. It can definitely cost a lot of money. And this company didn't exist a few years ago. So they're doing some things right over here. They're doing some things right. And they're not using AI for their animations. We'll just put it that way.
Like the gorillas. All for real animation.
Yes, Shad. They know who I'm talking about.
Our goal, our mission is clear. As we ride against the dark empire. By my soul, may the last thing they hear be the roar of this raging choir. Listen, be the savagery mindset. Night and day, we'll let loose and find it. Brutal will define our reaction. Rip out the throat of each one in perfection. No turning back, for such is our path. This day we find a glorious death. Fear not, my friend, for righteous the path. They shall remember glorious death. Glorious. The angels have fallen. My allies are beaten and broken down. Broken down. I shed not a tear. After all, this is why we are here. A war we were not supposed to win. If I'm to die tonight, I'll kill every demon that stands in my side. Go!
This is definitely a show I want to be at. Can we go to this show?
How do we get in?
And neither one of them like to tour, but there's talks of them having to maybe figure out how to perform this live somewhere. And if that happens, I have to be there. Y'all got to hook us up. Y'all got to hook the Cyber Skull boys up, okay?
Hey, if I got a wig, I could pass for a Viking.
You could. Well, I mean, Vikings don't have to have hair. You got the beard for it, bro. Put some little beads in your beard.
I'll go as Kratos.
Yeah, there we go. That works. I mean, this song is just like let's fuck some shit up. I definitely want to go see this. I want to see them perform live in the worst of ways, bro.
If I'm to die tonight, I'll kill every demon that stands in my sight. Go! You must sing me a fool. I stand on the skeletons of every goal. But if I'm to die, well, this very night, I'll kill every demon that stands in our soul. Turning back, such is our path. This day we find the glorious death. Fear not, my friend, for righteous the path. They shall remember glorious death. Make them remember glorious death. Glorious
That is Norfrica. I liked how like the animation cut back between the band and recordings of the band there, recordings behind the scenes, fan perspective. It was very creative, man. They definitely worked with what they had and made the best of it, I think. And this is the comic Norfrica, and all the other swag you can go pre-order now at Rippaverse.com.
How many did you buy?
Listen, I bought
How
the
much?
first cover as a reader and as a CGC signed and graded slabbed collector's edition. I also bought the vinyl, and they have a special edition vinyl that's gold
180 gram?
that also has a gatefold, and it was specifically mastered for the vinyl. They didn't just copy and paste the same recording. It was remastered specifically for the vinyl. But I might have to buy a second one now because I don't know if I want to open and play that one. They've definitely got a lot of cool stuff, and I could not get a vinyl. And they have stretch goals that if they get the first stretch goal, they're dropping a cassette tape, which I have to fucking have. All right, we're physical media fans. I got VHS tapes up there behind me.
If it's 180 gram vinyl, though,
It is.
I know you don't want to maybe open it. You got to listen to it. 180
It is.
gram is like audiophile vinyl. You got to listen to it, man.
It is. And this sounded great, but I want to hear the vinyl. I may have to get a second one just so I can hear it.
Yeah, if it's 180 gram, you got to crack it open. High fidelity shit right there, buddy.
That's that good shit. That's what I need. So before we dive into a little bit more behind the song, a little bit more about the people involved, because I know not everybody cares about that or about comic books, I guess we should get into this review, and I'll leave all the fun facts and talks for the rest of the video after we get to that spot. So since Dylan is another big metalhead and knows very much well what Eric July can do, and you're brand new to Dan, what did you think today, buddy?
Oh, I think this is fire. This is like textbook power vocal rock and roll. I like what Eric July is doing, flexing some new vocal techniques. The first listen, I was hung up on some of those high notes, and I was trying to figure out like a comp I could kind of hit. Pantera Cemetery Gates, like the notes he hits, the part where he hits Gates and the super high note, it really reminded me of that a little bit. Yeah, this thing's fire. Lyrically, it's super on the nose. You know, it's very specific to this comic that they're promoting. I love that they went into character for this. It's pretty cool. Neat to see Eric July do something different. He's very well known for his political stances. You know, I respect him a lot for that aspect, but love seeing him shift gears here and just go as a character, you know, and just put it out there. It's super dope.
Oh, and aside from a cassette, if they hit another stretch goal, they're going to be dropping a full EP together. So that's what I really want. That's what I really want. So I got to buy more stuff so I can get to that EP, bro. You can go buy this on iTunes. You can go buy this on Apple. You could go buy this on Amazon. You can buy this through them. They actually hit #1 on the metal charts on iTunes, which is very, very impressive. I guess we get to hear the guy who's not as big a fan of metal, what he thought about this today.
Start out with, I at least thought it was fire. Pretty dope. I like Dan's voice. Coming from never knowing anything about the guy, like it was total Steel Panther vibes coming from his voice. You know, it's his own thing. He was good shit. And hearing Eric not screaming into the mic or any of that stuff, like it was good shit. My only complaint was the constant starts and stops. That's like, you want this piece of candy? Oh, I'm kidding. You want this piece of candy? Oh, I'm kidding. I'm one of those guys. I'm gonna go get my own fucking candy, do it by myself then.
Hey, I gotta pause it. We gotta talk about it. They also requested that we stop and talk about stuff. So
I understand that, but guys, you can't have us do both versions and stop on both of them. Like,
at least we're the only ones, at least that I've seen so far, that covered both versions. Okay.
oh yeah, and you got the guy that like isn't happy about it.
Well, that's good though, right? That means that you really dug what you were listening to, and you didn't want it to stop.
Pretty much, I wanted to enjoy it, and I'm gonna have to listen to it again.
We're gonna enjoy it down at Dude, Where's My Vape?
No, I'm gonna enjoy it whenever the fuck I want to. Like probably in 5 minutes, but
Don't tell him what to do.
like I said, I'm getting my own fucking candy.
So young, so angry. Damn that rap music.
Listen, Eric July's all about that business, and I'm trying to promote our business over here, all right? Go to dudesweetvape.com. Anyways, now it's time for the stand of the group to tell you guys what you already think you probably know.
And since we're talking about slaying demons today, this was a motherfucking fire, baby. Makes me want to go fight through the hordes of hell.
This was a headbanging certified. This was fucking fire. These boys threw down something special here today. It was amazing. I loved it. They definitely came up with everything. They had some great people working on it. Lyric and vocals by Eric July and Dan Vasc. Music by Dan Vasc. Guitars by Garrett J. Peters. Drums and orchestra by Dan Vasc. Mixing by Dan Vasc. Mastering by Tony Lindgren. Their artist was Ronaldson Fryer, and their colorist was Marcos Martins. We got to shout out everybody involved. Dan is a creative genius over here. All right, so is Eric with everything he does. But the fact that Dan can create such a masterpiece of a song, that they can take their two opposing generational genres of metal and put them into something that works so fucking well, bro. Like, this is my song of the year right now. It's gonna be hard to top it. I'm just saying, it's gonna be hard to top it. We are halfway through the year, and I might have found it. That's what we got. This was fire. I love it. Can't wait. I want to interview both of you on this channel one of these days. Let's work it out. I'm so excited that I finally got to share Dan Vasc with you boys today. He's got so much stuff I want to cover.
That's good shit.
We've been on here a really long time, but there's a few last things I want to mention that I want to talk about for those that might care, all right? For those that might care, there's more information out here about what we're covering today. Now, these boys have wanted to do a collab for a while. They have wanted to collab since, like, before Eric started his comic book company, the Rippaverse, okay? And they had planned on this, I think, before the very first comic, ISOM #1 dropped. Now, I own every single Rippaverse comic, everyone in a CGC slab that you can get. I'm fully invested, and this song actually appeared. They teased us in the very first comic they dropped in ISOM #1. Look at that. You just look at it. Look at how beautiful that is. They teased this in the comic. They're singing this song. In the comics. They're singing the song in the comics, and ever since I saw that, I wondered, right? I'm like, is Eric just teasing us, and we're gonna get something musically out of this that's super fucking epic? And then it's been so long, I forgot all about it, even though this was my #1 most anticipated book since they introduced the characters, because I love Viking shit. I mean, look at me, okay? I love Viking shit. If I were to cosplay anything from the Rippaverse, it would be Valadan 100%. I mean, I'm gonna be fat Valadan, but Valadan nonetheless, okay? I don't got the beard, but I can make it work, all right? I can make it work. But let me show you guys a little bit of something over here. and go back to the screen share over here. So Valadan, created by Eric July, he is the front man to the band Norfrica and has more to him than his devoted fans may suspect. Is Valadan's incredible voice that of a mere man or a god? Valadan has a very muscular build and is often seen bare-chested with furs draped over his shoulders like a cape, black pants and black boots. His eyes have been seen glowing blue, although his acceptabilities are largely unknown. Valadan's closest allies are his bandmates, and his closest friend is his guitarist Takari. They sing about battles fought and those yet to still come. He's a force to be reckoned with. And then we've got Takari over here. Takari is the guitar player for the band Norfrica, but there is more to this mysterious rock god than meets the eye. Could it be that their lyrics hide hidden hints to their true nature? Takari plays a 7-string guitar resembling a Schecter Hellraiser, and when his ancient magic powers are activated, he is surrounded by a green aura. Takari is self-assured and walks with confidence among others. He is a key member of the band Norfrica alongside Valadan, whom he has a close friendship with. Their band holds songs that speak of battles fought and more to come. Just had to share a little bit of that from the Rippaverse, founded a few years ago by Eric July, who has people like Chuck Dixon and the beautiful, wonderful Saska sisters working for him. He's also got some projects coming up with Dean Cain that they've talked about a little bit. So he's making some waves out here, making an impact on the independent comic book scene, because we're all about independent music. We're all about independent movies like Tapehead that Dylan was in, and we're all about independent comics over here. And this man has a Bible he's building for all of his comic universe. This man is a massive proponent of canon, because we also believe that canon matters. So when they originally sent out some stuff to Dan, Dan realized that the bridge had changed from what was in the comic in the panel. So they changed it back to the comic book panel so that it would all be congruent, because continuity matters. Figured Dylan would appreciate that little tidbit right there.
I do. Continuity's key.
Even some of the original first lyrics of the hook were different, but they changed things up to fit more of the vibe of the song. According to Dan Vasc, this is a song about someone going to their ends with a fucking smile. It sounds like we're about to have a big ass fight scene in a movie, and this song's going down right now. Now, some of Eric July's early influence, apparently his mother was actually big into metal, some of the more classic stuff, but he's got a lot of influences from the Beastie Boys, Manowar, Iron Maiden, Led Zeppelin, and like Dylan mentioned earlier, Pantera, because he's a Texas boy. He's a Texas boy. These are the people I have been wanting to cover for a very long time on this channel together. I love this shit. I'm a huge Rippaverse comics fan, a big Eric July fan, a big Dan Vasc fan, and everyone and everything that comes along with it. So we had to cover this today. We knew it was going to be a long video. I had to give it its due, whether 25 people watch it or 2,500. We are going to be here for the independent musician. We are going to keep covering the independent musician as long as we can. UMG trying to buy all the distribution be damned. There will be a link in the comments below if you want to take a stand against UMG and help out us reactors doing our thing and helping out the independent artists, because that's where the real music is being made today. Well, do you boys have anything else to say before we wrap this bitch up with a bow and send it on home?
Nope, this is a good time.
I don't believe so.
Well, I am always available to come on anybody's show out there in the Rippaverse or connected to it, and I would love to have both of you on the show. So we'll have to get in touch. Well, let us know in the comments whether you thought this was a fail, fire, or just plain mint. Like and subscribe if you had a good time today, because our Cyber School Media, this was fail or fire, and we will absolutely keep bringing you the motherfucking heat. Catch you guys in the next one. See you later.
Later.